Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sort of My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, sitting to my left.
My name is Vinnie Herman, VinnieWise.
All right, guys, it is our anniversary show, and to celebrate, no one else showed up but us. It's not like we invited anyone, but yeah, it has been 3 years since this podcast got off the ground. We are ending it soon, sadly, but yeah, it's been a crazy ride. But instead of talking about that, we're going to do a whole retrospective episode at the very end of this whole run. So let's just go ahead and get into shout-outs, and the only shout-out I had for this episode is Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon did this We Didn't Start the Fire MCU parody. I feel like I'm late to the game on this thing, but I just saw it today, and wow, it is so heartwarming. It's got all the different Avengers up to Captain Marvel, like doing the lip syncing and the whole thing. And it's just really great. And the whole thing ends on the shot of Stan Lee. Man, it's just so fun, so cool. Check that out. We posted it over on the Sort of My Comics Facebook page. So if you need a quick reference, just hop on over there, scroll down a little bit, because by now I've also shared a bunch of news and memes. Speaking of memes, though, something that has become a huge meme is this Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. What the hell is Gangster's Paradise doing in this trailer? Like, it comes in, and you think it's gonna be this short thing, but it's the whole trailer. I just turned into Jerry Seinfeld there a little bit, but it's the whole trailer. What are you doing with your Sonic the Hedgehog on the Gangster's Paradise and the whole trailer? That's my Jerry Seinfeld, apparently.
This whole thing makes me laugh. Sonic the Hedgehog, it's just making me laugh, this trailer.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh, God.
Like, come on.
It is beautifully terrible. Like, I mean, this is just this. God, it looks bad from top to bottom. I don't know. I can't tell what Jim Carrey's doing in this thing. Like, he seems more all over the place than, well, Jim Carrey normally is. He doesn't even look like Dr. Robotnik.
No,
like, not until,
Dr. Robotnik is, like, fat.
Well, I mean, there's that, but I mean, you also have, like, I mean, okay, at the very end of this trailer, there is a shot of him with, like, the big poofy mustache and the bald head and stuff. That's Dr. Robotnik. And I guarantee, I swear, that's not even going to happen until the very end of the movie. It's going to be, like, either some ending scene, like some cliffhanger scene before the trailers, or before the credits, or it's going to be like a mid-credits scene, like they're trying to pull some Marvel shit. Like, no, just make him bald with the poofy mustache during the whole thing, have his fat ass riding around in some weird fucking hovercraft and shooting at Mario and stealing little woodland creatures. That's what we want to see. That's what happened in the game. I mean,
I love that game.
The simple thing to say about this, it just looks bad from top to bottom. The film's director took to Twitter to inform people that they will be changing the look of Sonic because of the backlash. But that's just a small part of it. I mean, we've seen this bad family flick centered around a CG character before, like 100 times. Once with James Marsden before. It looks like a symphony of bad, and I think it's safe to say I'm not going to be in the theater for this. Yeah, we don't need to waste our money or time on this. I guarantee you the only reason I'll see this is if it, like, accidentally happens to me, and that will, like, probably have to be forced. Like, I mean, I think people are getting a little too riled up over it, like the internet does. Surprise. The internet's mad about something. Yeah. But, like, so some people need to calm down a little bit, but it does look bad. It does. It looks bad. It looks so goddamn bad.
So bad.
What if there was, like, an ASMR video? Like, oh my God,
ASMR
we've got
podcast.
Well, okay, that's definitely a thing, but no, I'm gonna do an ASMR video of me just talking about how bad Sonic the Hedgehog movie looks. But it's gonna be all really soft down here. I'm gonna say that Jim Carrey looks like he's trying to tell like 17 jokes per scene, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Welcome in the Gangster's Paradise.
Moving on from there, though, we're going to go ahead and talk about some news. Some actually pretty cool news. As no surprise to anyone, it looks like Marvel Studios is leaving Netflix behind in favor of Hulu, which they now own a majority stake of. On top of the platform, already having streaming rights for Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Cloak and Dagger, producing Marvel's Runaways, and the previously announced adult-oriented animated shows, MODOK, Hitmonkey, The Tigra and Dazzler Show, and Howard the Duck. Hulu announced 2 more shows are coming to the platform, Ghost Rider and Hellstrom, which are coming out in 2020.
Right.
What's more is that it has been confirmed that Gabriel Luna is going to return to the role of Robbie Reyes, aka Ghost Rider, which he played in Season 4 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which means the Ghost Rider series is likely going to be MCU canon, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is MCU canon, so long as these two are tied together. So that's pretty cool. And with the MCU bringing in these Marvel Plus shows that are going to affect the MCU and interact with the MCU, and now, wait a minute, spoilers for Endgame, just hop like 30 seconds forward if you don't want to hear this. 1, 2, 3. Jarvis from the Agent Carter TV show showing up in the 70s. That is the first TV character to actually interact with the MCU movies. So it's all on the table now. We could see Ghost Rider in an MCU movie. He could get his own MCU movie out of the show. Next Avengers movie may have Ghost Rider in it. Who knows? So that just leaves a lot on the table. Hellstrom means a little bit of something here too, because that in the comics has interactions with Ghost Rider, so we may see some crossover between those two shows. But what does this mean to you? You're not too wildly familiar with Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, the thing you're most familiar with is the Nick Cage show, movie. So what are your thoughts here? You excited to see some more Ghost Rider?
Yeah, but I don't know who this one dude is.
Robbie Reyes?
No.
Oh,
him.
Gabriel Luna? Yeah, he's a little bit of an unknown, but he did a really good job in Season 4. It's probably
the other superhero.
Oh, Hellstrom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar myself. Had a big 90s going there, but we haven't heard too much from him in recent years. I do feel like we should point out for the people, if you're not familiar with who Robbie Reyes is as the Ghost Rider, he is not the motorcycle riding Ghost Rider. He is the one in the Camaro. I'm pretty sure it's a Camaro, and it is badass. And it looks really good on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That Ghost Rider stuff is probably some of my favorite Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff ever. So, yeah, definitely excited to check those out. And speaking of interesting things, there's a lot of interesting things in the phone booth.
It's time for the news, the phone booth news.
Oh my God. You know what I think I just realized? I think I forgot to put the phone booth news theme in the last episode. Oops. Sorry, Travis. I guess we kept that door locked. Anyways, welcome to the phone booth news, guys. This is where I try to give you the news faster than Deadpool can save the day, which gives me 3 minutes, 45 seconds. VinnieWise has his finger on the button whenever he is ready.
And now,
in video game news, a brand new Earthworm Jim game is being developed exclusively for the upcoming Intellivision Amico, a new console due for release in October 2020. The brand new free Pokemon Pass app is now live and will allow players to earn digital Pokemon rewards, starting with collecting a shiny Eevee or Pikachu for either Pokemon Let's Go game on the Nintendo Switch between May 11th and June 23rd at participating Target stores. In comics news, the Batman Who Laughs miniseries by Scott Snyder and Jacques has received an extension from 6 issues to 7, which will both tie up the miniseries and lead into the newly announced Batman Superman series by Joshua Williamson and David Marquez. In TV news, FX's hit mutant show Legion has announced June 24th will be the premiere date for the third and final season. According to The Hollywood Hollywood Reporter, Lord and Miller, the creative minds behind the Lego Movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, have signed a 5-year television deal with Sony, which involves Spider-Man, Venom, Morbius, Black Cat, and Silver Sable, with Into the Spider-Verse characters reportedly part of the discussion as well. 3 new videos for HBO's Watchmen series tease a Black Freighter callback, a reference to Dr. Manhattan's connection to Mars, and an alternate American flag. In movie news, according to The Hollywood Reporter, David Dastmalchian, Sure, has been cast in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad as Polka Dot Man, of all people. In other news, Free League Publishing has announced an Alien tabletop RPG set in 2183 after the events of Alien 3 and featuring original stories. And finally, Disney has released John Williams' score for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, available to stream online or purchase through iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon Music. And that is the news. Where are we at?
2 minutes and 1 second.
Man, the news really has to pick up. Like, it's been real light news week for a lot of different things. Was there anything in there that really stood out to you? Anything you were really excited about?
No.
I think that Lord Miller news could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I heard Sony was wanting to develop some like TV stuff, especially with Into the Spider-Verse characters, wasn't really excited because Sony kind of bites when it comes to that stuff. But Lord Miller, man, that's a quality team. They could really pull it together. I am frustrated though. I'm a little frustrated by some of that news because the Batman Who Laughs miniseries, I bought the first issue, canceled because I had to cancel some books. I had to make some space, and I was like, this is going to be inconsequential. Well, turns out in order to read Batman Superman, now I have to read Batman Who Laughs. So, awesome. Cool, DC. Whatever. Thanks for producing quality books that all tie together, making it a more cohesive universe. Fuckers. But yeah, I don't know. Earthworm Jim's pretty cool. Anyways. Moving on from there, guys. Unfortunately, it's time to take a somber note because every now and then a legend is brought into this world, but before they can become that legend, they have to pass through this mortal coil and become fallen heroes. While his acting career actually began with the role as a Minotaur in 1977's Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, after being seen in a newspaper article about people with unusually large feet, Peter Mayhew, born in London in 1944, made his way into our hearts as everyone's favorite spaceship-flying fuzzball, Chewbacca. He would reprise this role in every Star Wars film and occasional side story for almost 40 years until The Force Awakens, where he would finally step down and hand the mantle over to Jonas Sumato. Everyone who knew Peter would talk about his enormous heart and unbounded kindness, which can and will live on through his non-profit Peter Mayhew Foundation, which is dedicated to the alleviation of disease, pain, suffering, and the financial toll brought on by life's traumatic events. After suffering a heart attack, Mayhew passed away in his home, surrounded by family. He was 74. And now I think it's time for us to get caught up. Guys, this is the part of the show where we talk about the things that we're watching, reading, listening to, whatever have you. First off, I finally finished Gotham. Disappointing. Wow, man, this whole final season just felt rushed and weird and a little repetitive, and then that final episode felt so heartless. Like it did not care about trying to tie this whole thing up. They just wanted to here's the Riddler's jacket, and look, the Penguin has a monocle, and Batman's got a suit, I guess, but we're going to show it in one shot at the very fucking end of the episode.
Smallville.
Not that bad. They at least show the suit, I guess. But it was just... fuck, this was a piss poor attempt to close this thing out. And I say that as a fan of the show. I like it. I like every season up to this last one. This last one was just... it was just nothing. And it had a really cool concept, too. Like, the American government closes itself off from Gotham. The bridges get blown, and they basically quarantine this whole city. And I'm like, wow, that's a really interesting concept. What are you gonna do with it? Bubkiss all of bullshit. I don't know. It was just really disappointing. Battle of Winterfell, I watched that though. Totally not disappointing. And you can ask my roommates, when a certain moment happened, I stood up and screamed, "Fuck you!" And not out of anger, which apparently a lot of people are doing, but actually out of like just pure excitement. That was the first phrase that came to my mind, and I just wanted to yell something because it was awesome. Wow, that was really cool. A lot of people are complaining that it was really dark. Yeah, it was disturbingly so, but I think it adds to it. It adds to the allure and the mystery and just the fear that these characters are feeling in the face of the the White Walkers. I felt like it was a dramatic effect that was necessary. Maybe not to that extent. Like, maybe brighten it up just a little bit, but it did need to be dark. You did need to not see a lot of what was happening, and more envelop yourself in the tone of everything. Like, listen to the episode. I don't know. Put yourself in the moment, not in front of your TV screen, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I'm excited to start the final season of iZombie. Just kicked off this past week. I love that show. It is so fun. And man, I really got to learn this actress's name, but the chick who plays Liv Moore, she is going places. All of the different types of characters she's had to portray over these 5 seasons is just astounding, and she has nailed every single one of them. She is fun. She's funny. She can dramatically act her damn ass off. She is great. I'm getting caught up on Heroes in Crisis. I kind of see why everyone was pretty pissed off about this last issue, this most recent issue. I finally got caught up, and what the fuck was that? If you really want the spoilers, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's getting caught up and may listen to this, but just if you really need to find out what happened, just Google it. And man, it is frustrating. And I trust Tom King. Tom King's a good writer, so I'm really hoping this thing will close out on a good note, but fuck that last issue. And I've enjoyed it up until now. Man, what is it with this DC? Like, Gotham, I enjoyed it up until that last season. Fuck that last season. Heroes in Crisis, I enjoyed it up until that last issue. Fuck that last issue. It's just really irritating. We saw Shazam again.
Mm-hmm. We did.
What do you think about it the second time around?
It was all right.
Yeah, I think it was just as fun as the last time I saw it. Maybe that big twist thing that happened, like, I'm sure it's out there now, but again, we're not going to spoil it for people, but there's this big moment in the final fight that happens that, like, I got real excited about the first time I saw it, but now that I know it's there, I'm just like, this is really fun. That's really cool. I enjoy it. I like the moment still, and it plays really well. I'm just like, I'm not as, like, fired up, you know? It was still pretty good, though. I'm glad we saw it. What have you been getting caught up on, Vin? What have you been watching, listening to?
Nothing much.
Still playing a lot of that Fortnite?
Yeah, only Endgame. That's it. And then when it's gone, I'm gone.
Fair enough. I still haven't touched it. Last episode, I said something to the effect of I need to try it out. Still haven't touched it. Probably won't.
Rest in peace, Tilted Towers.
Okay. What, did they go down or something?
No, Tilted Towers is gone. There was a lava
Did
thing.
it just get... Oh, it got destroyed.
Yeah. There was a volcano, and it hit Tilted. And they announced that Tilted Towers was going to get destroyed. And I thought...
Why would they announce that? Just leave it like a surprise. Why would you announce that you're going to, like...
Because of how many times they've destroyed a bunch of buildings and stuff there. They've done it so many times, and then they repair it. And then they're probably going to repair Fortnite. I mean, Tilted again.
Okay. Well, I do think it's interesting that it has kind of a narrative. It has a narrative without having a narrative. Like, things happen that affect the layout of the game, so it's an ever-changing environment. And that's pretty cool, I guess. It gives it some more longevity than it probably would have without that. If it had just stayed the same, that game would probably be dead by now.
I make a lot of videos of the Fortnite Endgame. I've probably made like 8 videos.
You want to plug your YouTube channel real quick?
Yeah. If you want to go subscribe, my name is VinnieWise24 Nuka.
On the YouTubes. Okay, anything else? Like any new music in your world or
Some more like I just listening to some Billie Eilish.
okay. I don't know anything about that guy, but
It's a girl.
oh, okay. How bold of me to assume their gender, I guess. Yeah, you digging it? Is it
I like it.
new favorite artist or just someone who's like kind of cool?
I like the beat of her songs and stuff, and I like concept.
The concept. What do you mean by concept?
Like
what? Like the content of her songs? Like what she sings about or raps about? What is she?
Yeah, she's like a singer, rapper. You know.
Hip hop artist.
Yeah, I guess. Some of her music videos are like creepy.
Okay, so it's kind of like one of those shock value, like a Lady Gaga.
Yeah, she had a spider crawling out of her mouth. She's done that.
Was that a part of the song? Is that something that happens in the song, or does it just happen in the video for no other reason?
I think it was in one of them where she's like holding a crown. There's like a bunch of spiders on her like crown, like on her chin. She posted on Instagram because some people thought it was like fake that she had a spider in her mouth, and then she posted a spider coming out of her mouth.
Oh man, the internet must have blown up about that one, like because PETA and activist rights and stuff. Like people don't like it when you fuck with animals, like even insects. Like I don't know.
Hot stew on what is it? The stove.
Hot stew on the stove? What
No,
what does that mean?
Hot tea on the stove.
What I mean,
That's
still,
your
what
laugh
does that
sounded.
mean?
You were like not like that. You were like something like that.
Like steaming?
Yeah.
Well, I was steaming. I'm getting there. It's funny, though, that you bring up creepy stuff because we're going to be reviewing. Our review for the day is a pretty creepy premise in the DC universe. We are talking about DCeased, #1, that just came out. We both read this today. Couldn't wait. It actually came out this past week on Wednesday. So
I read it in the car.
yeah, that was the first thing you did after you got back in the car. And so basically we are going to go into spoilers on this one. So if you haven't read it, here's a little TLDR spoiler-free thing. Basically, something is happening in the DC universe that is affecting the entire population of the Earth, and the DC heroes are charged with trying to figure it out and fight against it. And it is a heavily horror-based comic. So, now, if you don't want any spoilers, you want to run out, grab it for yourself, you want to read it online, you already own it, you just haven't gotten to it yet, it is time to end this episode for you. Or skip ahead and listen to all of our plugs. That'd be nice. Yeah, go like all our social media stuff. Down in the description below. But, yes, we're in spoiler territory now, boys, so you've been warned. Okay, so...
What you gonna do, brother?
First thing I want to say, this is a very graphic book. More graphic than I don't know why I expected it to not be graphic with it having horror elements, but it's DC, you know, sometimes...
It's like a zombie apocalypse, really.
It is, and I find it really interesting the way they did it. And I do want to say this, though. I'm not a huge fan of the way they kind of yada why Cyborg stuff works like this. They're basically like...
What even happened to Cyborg?
Okay, the anti-life equation is a big, long thing. I don't think we have time to get into, but
no,
you can...
like, you know...
Well, that plays into my answer. So... Go check out, like, learn about the anti-life equation at some point, and it's actually really interesting stuff. But basically, Darkseid's whole goal in life is to obtain the anti-life equation. So basically, he's figured out a way to do this with the Black Racer, who is Death, a Death speedster, and Cyborg's mother box. So basically using the essence of Death charged with the anti-life equation, the other half of the anti-life equation located within Cyborg, they kind of messed up the anti-life equation, created a new one that is darker and more sinister, and because that is now contained within Cyborg, him showing back up on Earth connected him to the internet, and the whole world is connected to the internet. So this new manipulated anti-life equation is now affecting everyone who sees it, and it's making them post it and share it, and before you know it, like the book says, 600 million people have been affected with the thing, with expected billions to be affected by it. So that's what happened. Darkseid tried to cheat the anti-life equation, and the anti-life equation changed to be a little more deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to have one question. Like, when they're all running around, I want to know what happened to Cyborg. Like, he started yelling and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's more really like what's going to happen in the next issue. Like, what is going on with Cyborg? Maybe they ripped him apart. Who knows? But, like, he is obviously devastated by this because his tongue has been ripped out by Darkseid. And one of the more shocking moments very early on in the show, or in the issue. And so he can't tell these people, like, get away from me, turn off your phones. Like, he can't communicate to anyone. He can't speak over the Justice League comms or anything. And the book does state eventually his tongue grows back, so I guess his cybernetic body has the ability to do that, which is news to me. But at that point, he can't warn anybody, and so now he's watching all of these people rip at their faces, and as the book describes it, they're trying to rip the anti-life equation out of themselves because it's just too much. So he's watching these people lose it, and then eventually when they finally give in, they start attacking each other, and it just becomes a murder scene. And so he's devastated. He is in shock over this, and so that's why he drops down and screams, because it's the only thing he can do. He's powerless to stop this thing. Yeah, and we get a big shocking moment at the very end with Batman, Nightwing, and Tim Drake, who is Robin or Red Robin. I don't know. The books aren't being very clear about that these days. But yeah, Batman getting eaten basically by the end of this book. Like, he's not dead. I should say that he's not dead, but he is, like, Tim has taken a chunk out of his forearm, and I think the very last page, ripped at him, like he's been scratched up, and the very last page is Nightwing clamped down on Batman's neck, and that's where our book ends. We'll find out what happens next month. Luckily though, John and Lois, the Kents, they are fine. Superman showed up just in the nick of time to stop John from looking at his mother's cell phone, and I thought it was fascinating. He comes in and he just blows every screen away with his heat vision. He just blows up the phone. He blows up the TV that John and Damian were playing. So Damian is checked safe in this whole thing so far. This shows that no one's safe because, like, Batman is supposed to be the guy on top of things, and we show he does have contingencies. He locks down the house. He sets out that EMP to disable the network in the mansion. So, like, he was as prepared as he could be, and even still it got to him because of his loved ones being affected. So nobody's safe. Like, what is going to happen? We've got 5 more issues of this thing. So what are your thoughts on this? What were some standout moments? I pretty much covered them all in my rambling.
Thanks, Dad. You covered all of them.
Yeah, that's what I do. I kind of start talking and I don't stop. It makes a lot of sense why I've had several podcasts and will have several more. Total recommend. What do you think?
I don't know.
You wouldn't recommend this to people?
Oh no, I would.
Okay, yeah, I definitely think it's something you need to run out and buy.
Hide your wife.
Cause they eating everybody out here.
Yep.
Anyways, old internet tropes aside, run out, check this one out, and it was only $3.99. It wasn't like a big event price. It was it's appropriately priced. I think we're gonna call this one to a close. I have been feeling very well Vin the Human hasn't been feeling very well. You heard him.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Okay. On that note, like this episode if you liked it. Subscribe if you loved it.
You're checking this out somewhere while here. Why not comment your thoughts on any of today's stories, share, and hit that bell on YouTube if you want to know when the newest episodes are up.
Like our nerd news page, Sort of My Comics on Facebook, and follow Sort of My Podcast on Instagram.
Check out Subject to Change Entertainment on Facebook and Twitter.
And all of our personal social media is down in the description below. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
My name is Vinnie Herman, VinnieWise.
Cue the outro music, No One Is Safe From.